Towering genius disdains a beaten path. It seeks regions hitherto unexplored. Abraham Lincoln said that. Nestled in the beautiful hills of the Daniel Boone National Forest is a place called Morehead, Kentucky. A world of wonders awaits. It is a world of creatures elegant and graceful, of creatures fierce and foreboding. It is a world where the supernatural makes its presence known in everyday life. It is a world where the heroes and legendary figures of the past are remembered with fondness and humor. It is a world where the joys and agonies of daily life take on new meaning. And a world where the eternal battle between good and evil comes alive in vivid and unexpected ways. This is the world of the Kentucky Folk Arts Center, a place that celebrates the extraordinary creative spirit of ordinary folk. Kentucky Folk Arts Center is a place that is recognized nationally for increasing an awareness of Kentucky's wonderful cultural heritage. Behind the brick walls of this simple historic building in Morehead, Kentucky, is found one of America's most significant collections of contemporary art made by unschooled artists. Kentucky Folk Arts Center is the state's only professional art museum dedicated to the work of unschooled artists. Here you will see a growing permanent collection, hundreds of artworks, paintings, sculpture, assemblages, altered found objects, walking sticks, and more. Here for all to enjoy forever are important works of art by Kentucky's legendary folk artists, and works of art by promising new folk artists, men and women, young and old, who live and work in every corner of Kentucky. From deep in the hollows of Appalachian Kentucky to our largest cities, creativity has found powerful voices outside the mainstream of formal art. This form of art is called folk art because it is made by artists who are unschooled in the making of art. Kentucky's folk artists did not attend art school or learn formal art history or techniques. They have received no formal training in how to paint or sculpt. They made this art because, like all artists, they have a personal need to create a tangible expression of their ideas or feelings. Kentucky Folk Arts Center traces its beginnings to 1985, when Morehead State University began collecting the work of regional folk artists as a way of documenting and preserving the cultural heritage of its region while nurturing growing recognition of the artists. In 1993, the university realized that their folk art collection could serve as a powerful stimulant to the development of a stronger economy for Eastern Kentucky. The Kentucky Folk Arts Center was created to be a model for cultural tourism and economic development under the guidance of a private non-profit museum organization. The center serves to educate visitors and scholars alike by exhibiting this permanent collection that brings together the best of the state's unique cultural expression. This educational effort at the heart, its mission goes well beyond the center's walls through the Folk to Folk, an educational outreach program that travels in the Folk Artmobile, taking folk art to the people. It travels to communities sharing Kentucky's creative spirit and serving as an arts in education program for many schools who cannot support full-time art teachers. The artists, board of directors, patrons, and volunteers who support and guide Kentucky Folk Arts Center come from all parts of Kentucky and from all walks of life. Through their art, they share a common vision and a commitment to education and to the preservation of Kentucky's folk art and cultural heritage. Kentucky's contemporary folk artists provide a living reflection of that heritage. They document and celebrate daily living, personal identities, beliefs, traditions, and human values as varied as their home state. Through their works, one can begin to understand why it has been said since the earliest days of the Commonwealth that Kentuckians are just like other folk, only more so. To visit the Kentucky Folk Arts Center is to travel off the beaten path through Appalachian highlands to western lakes, through busy cities and pastoral farmlands. Here we experience the complexity and diversity of Kentucky, its people, and Abraham Lincoln's regions hitherto unexplored, and nature close at hand, the depths of the human imagination, patriotic enthusiasm, or a personal sense of history, the gentle rhythm of the countryside, or the urgent tempo of the city, the simple pleasures of daily living, and the difficult challenges of the human spirit, humor, whimsy, joy and beauty, or sorrow, nostalgia, fear, and power. From its surface to its inner layers of meaning, Kentucky folk art touches on all that makes up life as seen through the eyes of those who live it. It illustrates this in forms both familiar and unexpected. More than a museum, the Kentucky Folk Art Center represents a continuum of folk traditions. It is a living connection between Kentuckians of all generations and all walks of life. This is a place for all to marvel at creatures elegant, graceful, fierce, or foreboding, to indulge natural and supernatural curiosity, to share a sense of pride in the past and to wonder about the future, to develop a new appreciation of the meaning of art and gain revealing insights into the meaning of life. The Kentucky Folk Art Center, Kentucky's museum for the works of Kentucky folk artists, is a place to learn that Abraham Lincoln's idea of towering genius can be very down to earth. It is a place to discover that Lincoln's exciting regions of the unexplored are very, very close to home.